So let's get into the details of how to create an impressive resume, especially if you are a fresher. So the best way or the ideal way in order to create a resume is to follow the reverse chronological order. So this is the most traditional and the most popular resume formats, which is preferred by a lot of hiring managers and recruiters, including myself. So it's always better that you follow the reverse chronological order, which means with respect to your education or your experience, you're putting all these points across in the reverse chronology. That is the highest one or the latest one to be on top, followed by the previous, and then ending with the oldest. So this is the chronological order that you will be following throughout your resume, be it your educational degrees, be it your work experience, your internship experience, and all of those things. So the order of your resume contents should be as follows. First would be the header, which would have your name, your contact info, just like how we prepared one for the cover letter. Second would be your educational qualifications, mentioning about your degree, college, university, CGPA, etc. Third would be the work experience for all the experienced candidates, and for freshers it would be your internship experience or your part-time job experience. Fourth would be the skills. When it comes to skills, you have to mention both hard skills as well as soft skills, the details of which I shall be giving in the video further. Next is the awards and certifications. If you have done any certifications, courses relevant or even not relevant to the job that you are applying for, you ought to mention that in your resume as well. And lastly, your personal information, which will have the other details of yours, like your date of birth, that is just to verify your age, your permanent residence address, your hobbies, interests, languages spoken, etc. So let's start with number one, the header. In the header, you need to mention your name, as I mentioned before, your contact number, your email ID, and your any professional profile link like LinkedIn, or if you have a personal web page, then you need to put that link across. Now, as I mentioned before, ensure to keep your email ID as formal as possible. Do not go for anything fancy. Once you're done with the header, right below the header will be the resume objective. Now, this is a one-liner or two-liner statement that basically describes or basically talks about your professional goals and aspirations. So following can be the example of a simple resume objective. A recent marketing graduate looking for the opportunity into sales position at a reputed company. Extremely organized with strong communication skills and willingness to learn and grow. That brings us to number two, that is education. Now, since you are a fresher, or if you're a fresher, you know that you do not have much of work experience to be laid out on your resume, so you may want to bring more attention to your educational qualifications, because those will be your key setting points. So while mentioning the educational qualification, the must to be followed is number one, the degree that you have taken, number two, the name of the institution. Especially if you've passed out from a prestigious institution, you ought to mention that on your resume. Next is the university or the board, and the other things like CGPA or percentage is optional. If you want to mention those, you can. If you are at a higher side of percentage or CGPA, then you can mention those. If you are at on average CGPA or low CGPAs, then you can also mention those, as long as you will be able to, if you are able to justify it during the interview, then that's perfectly fine. So the most ideal way to present these details in a resume would be in a tabular format, because it shows more of a neat presentation of the educational degrees that you have. So the column A can be the name of the degree, and again reverse chronological order. So you would want to start from your post-graduation, then your graduation, then 12th standard and 10th standard. So column A would be the degree, column B would be the name of the institution, column C would be the name of the university or the board, and the optional part, column B, would be the CGPA or the percentage. That depends on you if you want to mention it or not. If you're someone who has dropped out of graduation or your degree halfway, should you include it or not in your resume? My suggestion from my point of view would be it's best to include, because having half degree education is much better than having none at all. So you can mention it in your resume as long as you can justify it. As I said before, same with the CGPAs, as long as you can justify it, you can mention it, not a problem. At the end, what will be looked at will be your capability and your skill sets, and not just your degree or your education. Coming to the next part, which is the most important part for all the working professionals, this part is going to be very easy because you have worked in different companies, so you have to mention them from the latest to the oldest. So while you're mentioning about these particular companies, ensure that you're mentioning all these details perfectly. The name of the company, your designation or the title in the company, the duration that you worked in the company for, and then followed by your responsibilities, and then the responsibilities to be mentioned in bullet points and in detail. So this is going to be for those who are working or who have experience, and those who are freshers, do not worry. Even if you don't have any work experience, that's of no concern, because definitely you can include any internships, any part-time experience, any volunteering experience, or any project experience that you may have during your college. You want to put on all these details that would be important for the hiring manager to know. So if in case it is an internship, you will be mentioning the company name, the duration that you have done the internship for, and not just the duration, that is 2 months or 3 months. You want to put the date, if not the exact date, then the month and the year that you started the internship and the ending of the internship month and the year. So these are the very crucial, small details, but very crucial details which are very important to be laid out on your resume, and followed by your title. Now if you are an intern there, don't just mention as intern, you can mention it as sales intern or marketing intern. Describe the title and your specialization so that it brings in more relevance to the job position that you're applying for, and then followed by the responsibilities in detail during your internship tenure, what all things you have done there, what all things you've learned there, and if at all any targets were given to you and you have achieved those, please put across your accomplishments in those during your internship tenure. It's very, very important. Apart from your internship, and if you do not have any internship experience, then you must have had a part-time job experience. So you can put that across in the same fashion or in the same organized manner. The name of the company, your title, the duration, start and the end date or the month and the year, and followed by the responsibilities. Now those who do not have neither internship experience nor part-time job experience, at least you would have conducted some projects in your college. So you can put the details of those projects, starting with the project title, purpose of the project, and then you mention the date or the duration that you worked on the project for, and then the in-depth description of what the project was about. You may also want to mention any extracurricular activities that you were part of. For example, many of the students will be a part of the student committees in their respective colleges, so you can include that. That is also a form of work that you have done during your college. So for example, you can see in the extracurricular section, I have mentioned as VP of this particular student committee, and then I have put across few points of the responsibilities or the work that I have carried out as a VP of this particular student committee during my tenure. So if not anything, if no job experience, internship experience, number one, if no internship experience, part-time job experience, if no part-time job experience, and any project that you worked upon, any extracurricular activity or the student committee that you've been part of, and what your contribution has been while you were as a part of that student committee. Other than that, if you have done any sort of volunteering, you can also include that. So here in this particular section, I have included one example for each, so that you get a better perspective and idea of how to present your work experience section. So all the freshers and fresh college pass outs, do not leave this section blank. Do not go with a resume of yours having only your name and contact number and your personal information and no professional background or no professional foundation at all. This sort of gives a professional foundation to all the hiring managers. They know or they get to know your professional capabilities, your early basics, if they would be proving to be of advantage to the company, and accordingly then they have some basis to judge you and take your profile ahead for the process. So do follow this step and do fill this segment or this section with whatever experience that you have which might be related to the professional background. So the next part that we come to is the skills. Now in skills section, you can mention, although I have just mentioned all the skills for sample, you can mention both the hard skills as well as the soft skills which are relevant to your job position. Some soft skills examples are communication skills, a skill to be adaptable to any situation, flexibility, time management, stress management, and all of these things. And hard skills would be your technical skills or skills that are required on job, which is convincing skills, sales skills, negotiation skills, and all of these. So you want to put some sort of skills on your resume in order to better portray you and your strongest skills that you have to the hiring manager. So this section, definitely you would know what your best skills and what your strengths are, so mention those skills in the resume accordingly. Now, if you have any sort of certification which will give that one feather on the cap, which portrays you as a smart person or at least somebody who's having basics or foundation of any role, if you have a certification into digital marketing, online marketing, if you have any certification into soft skills, if you have any certification into personality development, anything that you may have, be it relevant or not relevant, you have to mention this on your resume. So you must have undertaken these certifications in order to be of any help in your career, right? So this is that point when these certifications will come to your rescue. So this gives an extra credibility to any candidate and gives a good impression onto the hiring manager that you have taken certain courses, although you do not have any hands-on work experience, but you have taken first-hand course and is certified in your respective field. The last one will mention of your personal info, that is your hobbies, your interests, different languages spoken by you, and your other personal details. So you can see in the example the hobbies and interests that are put, and the languages. Now the languages also are a very important part of your resume. If you are a multilingual person, you ought to put your skills there, because communication would be a major aspect to any front-end role, and you want to put it on your paper, and it gives you credibility. So you mention all the languages that you are fluent in, and you're going to end your resume with your other personal information like your date of birth and the permanent address. This is optional. If you want to put it, you can do so, but it's always better to put across your age so that the employers know that you're not underage and you are legally allowed to work. So this is going to be your resume creation, or the format that you're going to use is the standard format that is that can be used by any fresher from any background looking to apply for any role across industries. Now the formats, if you want to customize, you can do so. If you want to put across your picture on top of the header, you can do it. You can customize it however you want to, but I would suggest you and advise you to follow the reverse chronological format only. only. Other than that, if you want to change few things here and there, you are definitely free to do so, and voila, you have your perfect resume. So that brings us to the end of the video, and I hope that I was able to be of some help today. I understand that these times are difficult, and it's at most difficult for any fresh pass out to get any suitable job right now, but you have to ensure that you, whatever is in your best capacity, you are making full utilization of that and making your cover letter and the resume as impressive as possible, so things eventually turn into your favor. So that's it for today. Thank you for watching the video. To watch more of such related content, do subscribe to the channel.